Hi, my name is Aaron. This is my show Reeducation, and today we're going to talk about Joe Biden. Again, I'm sorry. So, as you probably know, I absolutely detest talking about electoral politics. It's one of the things that I hate the most about doing YouTube that talks about politics. Okay, I kind of chose my own fate here, but anyway, I kind of hate talking about electoralism because I always tend to have virtually the same opinions, and I basically end up saying the exact same thing, just in a different way. But since there's a lot of new people here, I probably should just get it off my chest, talk a little bit about what's going down in electoralism today, and talk about how Biden and Trump are the same? Okay. They're not exactly the same. I know. I'll get 100 different comments saying that they are totally different and Biden is 100% better. But personally, when I look at electoralism, when I look at electoral politics, I see a lot of the exact same behavior coming from the left and from the right. And heavy scare quotes when I say left in this situation. Ostensibly, America is technically a two-party state, and you even have the Democrats, for the most part, coming up with ideas and policies that are somewhat better than the mainstream Republican policies that are usually proposed. But at the end of the day, it kind of seems like the whole system is created so the rich and powerful always tend to get their way, and the poor and downtrodden always get stepped on. It just happens to be a coincidence, I guess, that no matter if the Democrats are in charge or if the Republicans are in charge, the people still lose. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out and vote or you shouldn't try to get the best possible situation for anybody that's being shit on by the government. You absolutely should if it's something that you think is necessary. So yes, obviously the Democrats are different from the Republicans. Some of the things that they claim are better. Though, a lot of the things that Joe Biden has decided to endorse in the last few weeks, over the last month of him being president, have been extraordinarily Trumpian and not out of character for Joe Biden or any other president in the United States. Now, I'm going to give you a short list of things that Biden has done over the last 30 days that are reminiscent of a certain Cheeto that was in the White House not long ago, and we'll go through that now. He expanded the NATO occupation of Iraq. He has backed dictators in Haiti to go against the socialists there. He tried to steal Ecuador's election, dubbed Russia an external threat. He's rejected the $2,000 stimulus checks, leaving tons of Americans without any way of paying for rent, food, or bills. He denied a minimum wage hike, which would have only brought the minimum wage to $15 an hour, which would have been a living wage in 2009, over a decade ago, but now a living wage is closer to $25 an hour in most places in the United States, so even $15 an hour would be wholly unacceptable and not even close to being a living wage, but he's denied even that. So that seems super progressive. He's continued to separate children from their parents and put children into cages, though I will say that the cages are nicer now, and they're being done for a completely different reason. I assure you, it's a totally good thing that these kids are being taken away from their parents and locked up in a detainment center. That's a good thing if you talk to liberals. I don't exactly know how they've determined that a gilded cage is somehow a good thing. As far as I'm concerned, we shouldn't be praising the administration for putting kids in nicer cages. We should be abolishing the cages entirely. But I'll talk more about that in just a moment. And also getting back to foreign policy, he also decided to bomb Syria. He did a few airstrikes in Syria to get back at some military groups that apparently killed some contractors that were out in the middle of a fucking country that they shouldn't have been in. Contractors, by the way, are essentially mercenaries that are paid by the American government or by private individuals to go and do the dirty work of the American government without having them held liable for any of the consequences. And all of this is kind of part and parcel to exactly what you would expect out of a Biden administration. It's basically the same MO that him and Obama had back in 2008. They're playing by the same playbook. They're doing it virtually the exact same thing. Let us not forget that the cages that the children were being put into were created under Obama, and they will continue to exist until we stop them from existing. So are Trump and Biden the exact same person? Well, no, but you can definitely start to see a ton of overlap here. Even a lot of people that are right-wingers, QAnon supporters, believed that Biden is actually just Trump wearing Biden's skin mask, which is an interesting conspiracy theory, but again, not too far from the actual truth. All of these people that are in elite circles, all of these people that control the entire world, kind of are all cut from the same cloth. They all have the same dirty intentions, and they all have the same motives. They are incentivized to do whatever it takes to enrich themselves, enrich their friends, and maintain as much power as they can possibly hold on to. And that's not a left thing, that's not a right thing, that's a thing that happens when we allow for unjustified hierarchical systems to form and put people like that into positions where they can dictate to everybody how to live their lives. One thing that has changed in a big way is how we talk about these sorts of things. It's really quite Orwellian, in a real way, how we've decided to change the wording of all of these heinous acts to make it feel a little bit more palatable to everybody. For instance, kids in cages becomes temporary facilities for migrant children. The Forever Wars become an enduring American commitment in the Middle East. It's an entire administration based off of the meme where they're bombing a city in the Middle East, but it's okay because the drone happens to have a rainbow flag painted across the side of it. People still haven't gotten their $2,000 checks. They still can't pay their rent or bills. People are going to be evicted very soon from their houses en masse, leaving massive numbers of people completely homeless. There are no more jobs thanks to the COVID restrictions and thanks to the pandemic basically wiping out a lot of small businesses. People's life savings and bank accounts are getting smaller and smaller and possibly completely empty by now because they've had to spend all of that money during the midst of this global catastrophic crisis. And now, Joe Biden decided instead of helping his people, he wanted to spend millions of dollars sending jets into a country that has nothing to do with any of this and dropping a bunch of fucking bombs. This is why I hate talking about electoralism. This is why I absolutely detest bringing up politics on this channel, because even though it's a political show, I feel like nothing is learned from any of this. Nothing is gained. It's just a bunch of capitalist elites doing whatever capitalist elites do to maintain their control and power over the rest of us. It doesn't matter what color their fucking hat is. It certainly doesn't matter to the immigrant children or the little boys and girls that are getting slaughtered en masse in the Middle East what color the fucking hat of the politician that's sending out the drones is wearing. These kids are dying anyway. And so are a ton of actual Americans as well. And in the middle of it all, Joe Biden ends up getting presented an award, a medal, by Barack Obama. For what? I do not fucking know. Getting a fucking medal put on you by another war criminal for becoming the most powerful person in the fucking world sure as hell seems to me like getting a hand job for getting a blowjob. My main problem with electoralism and my main problem with this whole charade, this whole scam, this whole grift is that none of it is actually going to help anybody, and it's always sold to you as though it is actually going to help people. It's always sold to the people as though this politician is going to make all of the change and make everything better. Through incremental change, of course, but then when they don't succeed, the other politician will certainly be able to solve all of the problems. Again, through incremental change, of course. And it always sounds to me like they're talking about pulling out a rotten tooth, but not all at once. You see, you can't pull out a rotten tooth all at once because that would be too fast. You'd be destabilizing the entire mouth if you were to do that. We have to pull out a rotten tooth one piece at a time. We have to chip away at it and pull it out one little bit here and one little bit there. And eventually, after we've broken out enough pieces of your tooth over months or years or decades, then we can finally remove that tooth. If you don't rip out a rotten tooth all at once, then it infects your entire skull and you die. That's how medicine works, and that's how this whole system works. If we don't actually cut out the rot, then we will allow that rot to continue to grow and fester and consume everything until we literally don't have anything left. And we're already at a point now, through catastrophic global climate change and through the bullshittery that's happened on Wall Street, where everybody is in a position where they don't have anything left. So we cannot let that rot continue to spread. At least that's the way I look at it. I'm sorry that this was a little bit of a downer video. Like I said, no, Donald Trump and Joe Biden are not exactly the same. But goddamn, guys. Anyway, please, if you do get a chance, check out all the links in the description box below. Hit the little bell button because they are not going to tell you when I release a new video. And make sure you're still subscribed. Last month, they unsubscribed over 350 people from my channel. And they're not informing anybody when my videos come out. They're just not telling anybody anything at all. So definitely check that out. Try to hit the little bell button. Hopefully that'll work. Even that apparently is broken. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.